So we are in our final week of this month, and we're working on scoring from the top position. So that's the curriculum for the last 2 weeks. Last week we saw really quick passes from the butterfly guard. However, let's understand like one thing. Depending on the bottom player, if they're up or down on points, they're going to be in different postures. So if Cal is down on points and he's on his back and he's just doing egg beaters, let's say he's down on points, I'm going to just play in and out, and I'm going to keep circling around him, and I'm going to look like I'm busy without being too busy, and then I'm just going to win the fight. Okay? Cal can't stay so chill, all right, if he's down. If he's down, he needs to make something happen. And the easiest things for him to happen are going to be from the sit-up guard, because from the sit-up guard, he can then start to my legs and get sweeps leg locks. From the sit-up guard, he can start to wrestle up. From the sit-up guard, he has ways to pull me into his guard when he's on his back, and then he can look to sweep me as well, right? So all of this is going to happen from the seated guard. So yes, last week that's what we were discussing, right? The person on the seated guard, they're coming into us, and then we just jumped over, and everything was so great because they were in the seated guard. But this week we're going to be under the assumption that we are losing the fight, they are winning, and because they're winning, they don't need to play sit-up guard, they don't need to take any risks, they just need to keep themselves safe, not get past, and then they win, right? So it's the opposite of what we were discussing last week. So if Cal's on his back, one of the best ways for him to do that, like a lot of people are practicing loose passing, I can't really even do loose passing if I'm looking at his Achilles. For me to get like good loose passing, his feet should be a little bit lower, and I'm grabbing his ankles, right? Because now I can start to play my angles, I can do this, that, and the other. But what if he's winning the fight, and now he's just doing like egg beaters, and now there's just no way for me to get side control, north-south, or anything like that. His feet are so high up that even if I start to run around, now he's going to use his feet to put me back into his guard or entangle my legs. Does that make sense? So even north-south is going to be very difficult to do. So we need to do a category that's often underlooked, and it's a little bit difficult, but we're going to use this category just to set other things up. The category is under the legs passing. So under the legs passing, the reason it's really, really good is because by default, if Cal doesn't defend himself, I'm going to get my pass. And once he defends himself by making his legs heavy, he opens up that space that I wanted all along. Does that make sense? So a lot of times I'm just gonna do it just to get this reaction, just so that I can start to go over the top with my shins and my legs. All right, so Cal's gonna be doing egg beaters, his legs are up, I'm losing the fight, I need to make something happen, there's 45 seconds left. So I'm gonna approach it, I'm gonna take 2 C grips, and I'm gonna put them right into his Achilles, and I'm gonna put my shin right at his tailbone, okay? Before, when I taught this, we looked at leg drags, we have different things that we can do. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in, and my hands are not going to connect. I'm going to grab Cal's hips. I have to actually make grips with my hands. If I start to grab like this, like a lot of people do, it's going to be very easy for Cal to punch his hands up, punch my hand up, and looks to get his legs back in, put me into closed guard, and now things have gotten even worse for me, because now I'm in closed guard, I'm not going to open it, I'm going to lose just based on that. So what I need to do is, as soon as I dive in, is I have to grab the hips like this. All right, I'm actually making actual grips. This is very, very, very important. From here, guys, I'm going to keep my head square, and I'm going to pick a side, and I'm going to walk to that side. Once I pick that side, now I'm going to take my hand, and I'm going to bring it across his hip, so that I have 2 hands on one side. If I keep walking, guys, all I have to do is just take my head out last, and a lot of times, I'm going to be able to get into a side control position, right? But this is a losing battle for me ultimately, because I'm using my arms to go against his legs. All right, so ultimately it's a losing battle, and it's not very difficult for this person to defend themselves. The way they're going to look to defend themselves is, as I'm starting to walk and as I'm trying to do anything, is they're going to downward heel. Exactly, they're going to look to open up that space. I cannot allow their feet to come in as hooks, so I need to make sure that my feet are close enough that that doesn't happen. From here, I'm going to keep walking until one of the legs is pinned, and then look, I'm just going to pick one of my legs. And this one, I'm going to pick my cross leg. As soon as I pick my cross leg, I'm going to take it out, and my knee goes into his pocket right away. This arm here, I'm going to keep. A couple of things are going to happen. The first thing is, I can look to grab the head, and just do a back step, and look to clear and solidify side control. But the same concept is going to apply. A lot of times, Cal's going to kick this leg down. As he kicks his leg down, that's going to become my underhook. Once I get my underhook, same thing that we did last week. I get my double unders, I get my crossface, I pull Cal in, or I get an under and an over, and then I lick to pass. All right? So this is all happening simultaneously. You could also bring the same side shin as well. It depends on what you like, depends on your comfort. So again, Cal is playing egg beaters, legs are high, I go here, I bring my knee in the tailbone, and I dive, and now I'm straight in front of Cal like this. I'm gonna walk to the side, I'm trying to put pressure on him. As soon as I feel he starts to bring his heels down, I'm gonna walk a little bit more, take my hand out, and now I'm gonna bring this knee into his hip pocket here. Guys, same concept applies here. I can start to look to back step, okay? Or I can start to put so much pressure that Cal kicks this leg down, giving me the ability to bring my hand over the top. From here, he's gonna start to frame at me. I'm gonna grab underneath the shoulders, and now look, I can just replace my feet, and a lot of times get to my side control position. From there, you have leg drags. From there, you have back steps. You have a lot of different things from there. So what I want people to do is, I want the person on top to do their position. The person on bottom should give some resistance, should try to give a little bit of movement. Don't just stay still like a zombie. Make it realistic, and I want the person on top to really get the pass and really work for it. Okay, so it should look like this. So I'm here, I'm winning. I'm kind of almost joking with Cal. I'm like, yeah, come to me. He's gonna put a shin, what's that, come back step, come? Put one of your shins on my tailbone. Yeah, so that keeps it there. And now in one motion, dive underneath, get the hips. I'm here, start to walk to one side, Cal. He starts to walk to one side. I'm gonna start to make my legs very heavy. As soon as I make my legs heavy, he chooses. I'm starting to push, he wins the head, he wins the underhook, and now go ahead, bam, he gets the pass. All right, that's one rep. He does a couple, then I do a couple, and we're gonna see how it goes. All right, we're gonna see how, what reactions people give you, how you're able to take those reactions. But again, I should be able to win because the person is opening up the space that I wanted all along, which is the space in between their knee and their armpit. Cool? Let's go try this. Sometimes we're gonna need to throw more things at a person. You know, let's say I have a really, really good knee cut, but how can I knee cut him? Have your legs up? How can I knee cut a person that's doing this? I cannot. You know, it's very, very difficult. So a lot of times, my double unders, all this kind of stuff, it's just a disguise to get what I ultimately want, which is going to be, let's say, a knee cut, a knee over the hip pocket, whatever, okay? So guys, I'm going to narrate now. I want Cal to do it on Josh, and I want to narrate so I can show a couple of details that's a little bit difficult for me to do when I'm in one of the positions. Okay, so Cal, you're going to be on top of Josh. So Josh is going to be doing egg beaters, 1 second, and his legs should be like this, like very high, you know? And now look, Josh is doing a great job. There's no side control, there's no mount, there's no north south, there's no knee on belly. Look at how he's bringing his knee into his armpit. It's just almost impossible to get anything on the person, all right? And we saw this at CGI quite a bit, even with, you know, with heavyweights trying to pass very small people, there was just no space. It doesn't matter, this person had 3 DCC gold medals, they were not even able to get a guard pass in those 8 minutes because the people on the bottom were doing this really, really well, right? So, his legs are gonna be up, he's doing little egg beaters. Cal goes to his Achilles and he puts the knee into the tailbone to keep the integrity of this position just so that he can set his double unders. As soon as he gets his double unders in, Cal has to start to walk to the side to put a little pressure on Josh. Pause. Josh here is at risk of getting passed. So Josh has to start to open his legs and he has to start making those legs heavy, now opening up that space. And Cal, come back a half a step because I want to show a big detail. Mark, when we're here, Cal wants to walk a little bit towards this side so that this leg is pinned to the floor. Do you see that? The leg was already pinned so that when Cal infiltrates with his knee, now there's no space for this leg to come back. If he does it when Josh is squared up, and put your knee in there, Cal, now. You see now, look, this leg is freer. It's going to be easier for Josh to pummel it on the inside and push Cal away. So what Cal wants to do to Josh is he wants to do this. He wants to flatten out this leg before he puts one of his legs in there. This is very, very important. So now Cal, take your hand out and put your leg in there. Beautiful. Josh starts to push. As he pushes, Cal a lot of times can win this underhook too. He can let that go and go over the top. Exactly. Now, those 2 areas that in before were a problem area because the knees were so tight are no longer problem areas. Now Cal, depending on his moves, depending on what he likes, he has a winning position and he can look to pass in a variety of ways. One of the easiest that we do all the time is being the knee cut. And he could have chosen the knee cut earlier on as well. Notice one thing about Cal, we'll do it one more time, Cal. I want everybody to look at Cal's head from the beginning. No, from the very beginning. Look at Cal's head, guys. So when he enters, go ahead. He keeps his head directly above Josh's. This is how the stack works. This is how Cal is able to put pressure onto Josh. Look at his head. Go ahead, Cal, go double unders. His head stays there. It's like a brick. The head is where he's generating his weight, where he's putting all his pressure. Now when he walks, look at his head. Go ahead, Cal, walk. His head stays very close to Josh. Josh, how does that feel? Not good. That's good for us, right? So now when Josh starts to kick down, Cal chooses a side, and now he starts to go over the top. Look where his head is. His head is very close to Josh the whole time. If his head is very close to Josh, it's going to be very difficult for Josh to get adequate frames. If Cal's head is like further away, here, that's when those arms are going to come in. All right, so by Cal putting his head very close, it takes away the ability for the person to do like strong frames, meaningful frames. It's like starting with a bar on your chest as opposed to starting with the bar here. Make sense? All right, so let's do this, guys. You need a little bit of improv. You need some other skill sets such as the knee cut in order to get what I'm talking about. But let's add all of that in and let's see where it ends. Cool? Let's go.